Tuesday, Plus Sports and Plus TV Africa. Welcome on the show. My name is Wale Scott. Got Mukaya with me as usual. I hate to call him my sidekick. He has a problem today, Sha. I'll tell you about it later. He has a major problem today.
I have a concern, not a problem.
You have a major problem?
God will not give me problems.
This one is a problem.
No.
All Chelsea fans have problems today.
No. I think most Chelsea fans have.
I'm coming out, okay, K2 is a Chelsea fan. I just found that out. Okay. Don't forget that all through the week, when we have a topic of significance that is heavy,
yes,
we'll go through it all through the week. So you can actually call, like we did yesterday. You can call and tell us what you think about hiring a foreign coach. We had Sheon Ajidagba on the show on Saturday, who said that it doesn't matter if it's a foreign coach or if it's a homegrown coach. He just wants a technically good coach.
We're on the same page on
exactly
that.
You know, but what do you think? Do you think a foreign coach can make it happen? Our last caller yesterday from Delta State said that most of our players ply their trade abroad, and that only a foreign coach can make sense out of them.
I saw good reason in what he said. These players,
I think God's power or something from Delta State.
Yeah, and these players, you know, they leave Nigeria at such a young age and completely get acclimatized and assimilated into the European form of football. Yeah, not the structure here. They might still be Nigerians at heart, but at the end of the day, the style of football, the technicalities of the football they play is European based. And at the end of the day, we as Africans, we as Nigerians, we want to see our players, our football be more expansive, be more technically on the same level as the Germans and the English and the Spaniards. Until we figure out the right formula because to take our players and our football to that level, then maybe we're going to have a lot of situations like this. So it's trial and error, and we're going to go through a lot of pains to figure it out. But this is the necessary journey.
So the call line is on the screen. The hotline is on the screen. And we want to know, do you agree with the fact that a foreign coach is needed? Amaju Pinnick has said, I am going to hire a foreign coach. Well, he doesn't listen all the same, so it doesn't matter. He's going to hire a foreign coach. But do you think a foreign coach is the answer to our problem? A team loaded with athletic ability. Nigeria were expected to make Canada work in the second match of the Confederation Tour, Celebration Tour at Starlight Stadium in Langford, BC. There are going to be lessons on the road to the CONCACAF Championships for the Canadian women's national team, which is the reason it scheduled 2 exhibition matches against Nigeria. A team loaded with athletic ability, Nigeria were expected to make Canada work in the final match of the Celebration Tour at Starlight Stadium. Now on Monday, and did just that, forcing the hosts to score a late equalizer in a 2-2 tie. Now striker Ifeoma Omonu, who plays for NJNY Gotham FC, and Rashidat Ajibade, who plays for Athletic Madrid in Spain, scored for Nigeria, while Christine Sinclair and Shelina Zadowski counted for Canada in front of a packed house of 6,000 fans. With a couple of extra days to prepare, Canada head coach Bev Priestman was expecting a tougher challenge from Nigeria than they presented at BC Place on Friday, where Jessie Fleming and Vanessa Gill scored in a 2-0 win. A scoreline which actually flattered the visitors. The tournament will serve as both the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup and 2024 Olympic qualifier. This is my take from this. The Nigerian Super Falcons always tend to get invited for friendlies like this, which I think makes them better. Makes them what they are.
Yeah, it speaks to the strength of the Falcons already. And usually the likes of, you only get invited to play on the level with the teams that feel that you're on their level. Germany wants to play as many friendlies with England, with Spain, and if Canada are one of the very good female teams in the world, if Canada is inviting Nigeria to friendly matches like these, then it speaks to how well we are regarded on the world football stage. And it's an opportunity for us to take lessons from each match and improve upon them for the next one. The last game ended 2-0. This one ended 2-2. where some could say we were lucky because we didn't deliver as much of a challenge as the Canadians expected. But sometimes, you know, you play with the hands that you're dealt. And this was a friendly, and the hands you're dealt in a friendly are much, much different than a competitive match where there are higher stakes involved. So I am just happy that the women, the Super Falcons, got the opportunity to play this match, to notch another mile on their journey towards preparations for the...
I remember vividly when Gennaro Rowe first started as Super Eagles coach. We had some major friendlies. We played against Brazil. We played Ukraine. Both matches 1-1 draws.
Yes.
And that was a Brazilian team that had everybody in it. Neymar, the whole crew. And Neymar left the field crying because he was saying he was hoping that they could revenge the Olympic triumph.
They always want revenge against us. Yes.
So Gennaro just lost it along the line. We've not played a major friendly in years.
And it speaks to how lowly we are regarded right now. The men's football team, we're regarded so lowly that we're not getting invites to face off with the Argentinians and the Brazilians on a regular basis as we often used to get.
Yeah.
One of the very best football matches we ever played under Gennaro Rowe was that game against
Brazil. Actually invited Nigeria for that game. Andriy Shevchenko led Ukraine, invited Nigeria for that game. We didn't invite any of them. So which means they attached a lot of importance to us. And in a few months or in a few years, on the FIFA rankings, we're going to see the Falcons higher than the Super Eagles.
Most likely. I mean, I think at this point it's without a doubt that that's where the journey is going for the Super Falcons. And for me, I just don't want us to lose the plot and start comparing both the men and women's football. It's completely different. Comparison starts to bring out arguments on both sides that may disparage and diminish the accomplishments of the women. The women are playing against very tough oppositions and they are doing well. That's all on them, and they should just get credit for that. No comparisons needed. The men are facing very tough opponents in the world, and maybe the level of investment, the level of technical expertise is not on the level that we want it to be right now. The truth is, we've never been there at a level where we could say we realistically competed for the World Cup. But even the top teams who do compete for the World Cup on a regular basis go through lulls.
True.
Germany recently, after years of doing so well under Joachim Löw, had to let him go. They said bye-bye to Löw. And now they're trying to figure out their way back. And the World Cup has come at a time where they're hoping that they figured out the right combinations and they can really compete. Same thing with Spain, and we'll hope that Nigeria can do a little better under the next manager.
So, Coyote, Frank, and of course Mukail have problems today, but Mukail says they are not problems.
Concerns.
They're just concerns. Chelsea will have to come back. Let's look at the fixtures for today and tomorrow's matches in the UEFA Champions League. But don't forget, we're still taking your calls today. And of course, we're talking about the fact that should we hire a foreign coach? Is a foreign coach our savior? Or do you think we should just go homegrown and look for a good homegrown player? Preferably a former Super Eagles player. I don't know what your opinion is. So the call line will be on the screen. You can call and tell us. So despite what we're talking about, we're still discussing the foreign coach issue. We look at the fixtures now. Chelsea travel to the Estadio Santiago Bernabeu to actually go and get back a 3-1 deficit. Now, Chelsea is a fantastic team. Let's forget my beef. It's a fantastic team, really. But I realized in the first leg when I watched that match, Chelsea, the defenders and the midfielders could not find an answer to Vinicius Jr. and Karim Benzema. They couldn't find an answer to them.
I actually think that what really threw us off was that we were playing Azpilicueta on the left. Now, Azpilicueta is usually a very good substitute on the left.
And he's not playing today.
He's not playing today. He's usually a very capable deputy playing as a left back. Unfortunately, as a right-footed right back playing in a position that isn't his best position, Ancelotti threw a tactical spanner into Tuchel's plans and played Valverde on the right as opposed to either Asensio or Rodrigo. The work rate, the energy that he brought destabilized our defense, and that was a problem. Vinicius is always a capable dribbler, capable runner, always willing to beat the last man, and Benzema is playing at a legendary status right now. You can't deny that. But those three factors, I think, were what contributed to how badly the defense and the midfield got along on that night. I don't think that's going to happen this time around. I think the fact that there's so little pressure on Chelsea, most fans believe the job is already done for Real Madrid. There's no, and the truth is, every time Chelsea, this fixture, the history of this kind of fixture is that Chelsea usually do well. Every time there's no pressure on the Chelsea players, they put internal pressure on themselves and they raise their game to a higher level. And what might just happen, even though Real Madrid are not saying it, they're not displaying it, a little overconfidence might seep in amongst a couple players.
Okay, Atletico Madrid against Manchester City.
The game ended 1-0 to Manchester City last time. I think Atletico Madrid will come out and play, obviously, but they will play with the same level of pragmatism that you would expect from a Simeone team. I think the work rate that went into Manchester City's match against Liverpool may just have drained them enough that Atletico Madrid might be able to take an advantage of it.
Now, Bayern Munich hosts Villarreal, and they're 1 goal down.
I mean, I said this the last time. I didn't know what the first leg would end up as. I didn't really expect a win for Villarreal, but, you know, I said over both legs, Bayern Munich will win. But the way Villarreal played last night, the last time, they might be so encouraged, not overconfident, but just encouraged enough that they might throw caution to the wind. Now, that's dangerous against a team like Bayern Munich, but it might just be the kind of thing that puts pressure on Bayern and forces them on the back foot. Every time they've played against a team that threw out their fear, when they played against the first leg against Salzburg, we saw how well Salzburg cut them open. Their tactics just didn't work on the second time around, but this is an opportunity for Villarreal to prove their Champions League mettle against a very big Champions League.
Can we say Liverpool is home and dry?
I think so. I think Liverpool are playing such terrific football. The amount they've already gotten 3 goals from the last match. Yeah. It's Benfica. I think it's done for them.
Now Chelsea will have to overperform if they are to overturn a 2-goal deficit against Real Madrid in their Champions League quarterfinals. Manager Thomas Tuchel has said the Spanish side won the first leg at Stamford Bridge 3-1, with Karim Benzema scoring a hat-trick. Tuchel told reporters on the eve of the return leg in Madrid that reigning European champions Chelsea did not have the biggest chance to turn the tie around. Tuchel said that Chelsea had struggled to compete physically in the first leg and that the Premier League's decision to limit teams to 3 substitutions in a match compared to 5 in La Liga hampered his side. Midfielder Matthew Kovacic said they still had a chance to win the tie, citing their comeback win over Napoli en route to win the Champions League in 2012 as an example. Tuchel added that Callum Hudson-Odoi, Ben Chilwell and Romelu Lukaku will miss the match, while defender Cesar Azpilicueta returns after testing negative for COVID-19. Kovacic says obviously Karim Benzema is a difficult player to stop. Tuchel says he feels they weren't physical enough. Real Madrid held on to the ball well. They can hold on to the ball. They can play the game the way they want the game to be. And there's something that has to change there. What will it change now?
Well, I mean, bar the mistake from Mendy, the mix-up between Mendy and Rudiger, the game may have ended at the level that we might have expected anyway. And Chelsea would have gone to Madrid to at least get 1 goal and shut Madrid out until they could get all the way to the penalty shootout. That would be a cautious approach. But unfortunately, things didn't turn out that way. So Chelsea might throw more caution to the wind. Like I said, there's no pressure on them. They know they have nothing to lose at this point because they've already lost it. They have everything to win. And in times like these, this is the time you see Rudiger play with so much ferocity that the attackers will wish they had caught him on on a smilier day, a happier day for.
Okay, so we're expecting that, and of course, that's a roundup of it. But don't forget, they can still call, and the question is, should Nigeria hire a foreign coach? Is that what we need, really? You can still call and tell us what you think about that. Now, Stan Wawrinka marked his return to tour-level competition for the first time in 13 months by showing glimpses of his old form. But the Swiss failed to get past Alexander Bublik in the first round of the Monte Carlo Masters, losing 3-6, 7-5, 6-2. Now, Djokovic was all over the place. I'm not going to take a COVID-19 test. I'm not going to take an injection. He was ejected from the competition in Australia. But now he's back. He plays today, early today. And the good thing about it was that Neymar and Verratti actually went to see him. Like, show support, like, you're a strong man. You said you weren't going to do it, and you didn't do it.
I mean, I don't know if his behavior is something that we need to celebrate, but I will always respect that he has right to his own medical choices. That said, I think we should just be happy to see him playing. No matter what the political climate regarding COVID-19 vaccinations and tests, no matter what all of that, what obstacles those prove for sports and athletes, we should just be happy because his time is limited as an athlete, as a tennis player. He's closer to retirement than he is to the beginning of his career. And we're seeing some of the best tennis in his life right now. And this just is an opportunity, one of the few remaining opportunities, one of the few remaining
So we're going to track up the events where Neymar and Marco Verratti actually went to go and meet Djokovic to tell him that, they didn't speak English though, but to tell him that, yes, listen, we like you. We're not saying what you're doing is right. We're only saying that we like the fact that you took it up and said, I won't do this. And you didn't do it. I don't know. Neymar, I'm sure Neymar is like that too. I'm very sure. And then on the lighter mode, if I go to the track, I see tires around. Tires around somewhere. And then I remember the joke on Facebook that they wrote about when it's time for Muslim fasting, Hakim becomes Paul. When it's time for Christian fasting, he will become Hakim again. And then this time around, the Christian and Muslim fasting are at the same time. He's now in fire me now. We'll say this, Neymar visiting Djokovic with Marco Verratti.